All right, how's everyone doing today? So I'm gonna do another shave. I don't know that I've been on camera very much this month, but hope you guys are all doing good. And I don't necessarily have like a theme for today. I'll be showing you guys like maybe a couple new things. So here, real quick, I showered earlier this morning. We're getting an afternoon shave in. Today we're using SV. This is Cosmo, and today I'm not gonna be blooming. I kind of have a feeling that since Cosmo has a lot of the different ingredients that kind of, we'll just say like, it makes it more super fatted or helps with that post shave, I can't seem to get this to really harden up. And honestly, I don't remember how hard Cosmo was when it was first released, when I got it. So I'm not going to bloom this. I'll show you guys the brush that I'm using. I'm going to be using the carbon razor. This is a titanium R2 handle. And then we have the, I don't know if you guys can see, this is the minus base plate in stainless steel. And we have a stainless steel cap. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then there's a Gillette Rubie on its second use as far as the double edge blade. So I'm kind of using a new brush for me. Let me just shake out as much of this water. So this got shipped from Spain at the end of November. And I don't know, I wasn't getting worried, but it had finally gotten delivered the day after Christmas. So I was kind of thinking, oh, maybe it got lost in transit. But this is a vintage Plisson. It's got a horn handle, and you guys may not be able to see it, but there's pure, I don't know how they say badger in French, but bleu, I don't know. But this was kind of a nice surprise to get towards the end of the month. So I'll show you guys. Oh, there's a little hair in there. Let's see. Not a badger hair, but oh, come on. There we go. Anyway, I hope you guys are all doing good. Getting to the end of the year, and I think obviously everyone's kind of looking forward to, you know, superficially kind of start fresh with the new year. So I can say I'm hoping that 2021 is better in a lot of different ways, but kind of have seen similar attitudes from different people on shaving, just saying, you know, concerning all the world events, it's been a challenging year in a lot of different ways, but a lot of people have been enjoying what they've been able to explore or accomplish with shaving. So I have to say that it's kind of been a very fun year for me to kind of, I'll just say, reconnect in a couple different ways. I guess like doing videos, meeting new people. I don't know. I guess kind of helping out some of the newer people. So I think it's been kind of a cool year. So I'm grateful for all the people that I've been able to kind of touch base with and meet. So anyway. So the Cosmo soap is very thirsty. I think that Cosmo might have been like the 6th shave soap that they released. And I'm almost done with this puck, so I don't have a whole lot more product to have to go through. And I really love the performance of this soap. It's going to make a very slick lather, yes, but it's got a pretty dense protective lather. For those of you guys that, you know, maybe have more dry skin, prefer that, you know, after your shave's done, you have a little bit more post-shave feel. In my experience, Cosmo is definitely one of the more post-shave protective soaps. This one's got some interesting ingredients relating to castor seed oil. One of those is Gillette Rubie, and there's only, I think, like one or two other makers that I've seen maybe include that in their shave soaps, but castor seed oil is a very nice shave soap ingredient to include. And it's also got Sarah Alba, the beeswax. So it's got Sarah Farah, which I think is just a different derivative of beeswax. I forget what else this has, but I maybe should have loaded up more product. I think we'll be okay though. You know, this month got a lot of shaves in with the carbon. For the most part, really just the minus base plate. My plus base plate's out on loan. So I've been using the minus base plate and then the original 6/8 base plate. There we go. There's a lot of water in the knot, so I'm just gonna keep working it. I don't think I'm gonna lather much longer. I'm not gonna get this to I'll just go one more with the water. I'm gonna go against the grain first pass. Got 2 days beard growth. For those of you guys that are still finding your way or deciding if face lathering is for you, you guys can see that I do a generous amount of painting, and then I turn the brush as I face lather. All right. I was using Kai blades for most of the month, and just this last shave before this switched over to the Gillette Rubie Platinum or Rubie Plus. There's a couple different packaging. It's been neat this year, really kind of exploring blades more. And what I mean by that is, you know, trying a couple new blades or revisiting some old ones. Still a lot of blades I want to kind of try out, but more so just kind of using the DE blades for an extended period of time. Whereas for a while I was just doing a lot of minimal shaves on the same blade and then pitching and replacing, so. Next year, or 2021, I think that I'm going to really enjoy kind of simplifying what I'm rotating between. Kind of decided to sell off some razors, some Badger brushes, So I'm just kind of trimming down the dent a little bit. It's been a good year. I got to try a lot of new things for the first time in a few years. So I had my exploration fix in, I guess. I don't know how, I don't know if you would say this lather's subpar. You guys have seen me get the SV soaps. And their lather's quite a bit more thick and gooey and wet. So maybe I just didn't load enough product. And plus I didn't bloom it, so I don't know. Maybe that's part of it, but it'll be all right. But yeah, as far as hardware next year, outside of DEs, I'm hoping to maybe get, I don't know, straight razor or two. I'm really in no rush, so that'll happen just sometime next year. I think that's more just because these carbon razors have become kind of like mindless for me. Or just very, you know, kind of autopilot. I don't even remember why I really bought what the reason was that I bought this minus base plate. You know, Sean let me try this kind of as an extension of that damn fine shave pass around, and I liked it. Maybe I didn't find that it was like a standout difference between the other 3 plates, but I was intrigued enough that when he did the first production run, I bought one in the stainless steel. One thing I like to do, you guys, like just since I was kind of referencing the lather maybe not being the best, I usually try to see if there's any lather and hair caught in the razor. So maybe I didn't hydrate that as much as it needed. So let's do what I usually never do. Just go back to the puck. Let's just load a little bit more. I don't need to do a whole bunch, but I think an interesting thing this year is I guess I've kind of got on this titanium kick. So I've been enjoying the titanium handle on the carbon razor, and I think I'm kind of anxious to get a full titanium setup for next year, maybe like in that web plate. Maybe I think I'd like to maybe get a titanium base plate in this minus base plate. As much as I like the plus carbon base plate, I don't feel like I've been missing out on, you know, close shaves or efficient shaves. I think the minus plate works really well for me. So I've kind of been wanting to consider getting that, the plus plate. But let's just go one more thing with the water. I think that's doing better. And this one will just go with the grain. So yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of interest in maybe just acquiring a couple more carbon pieces for my DE shaves, but from what I have now, I'm very, very satisfied and happy. Guess I'd want to trim down the little brush stash that I have. I want to get through finishing some soaps. I would assume next year, if I'm still doing a lot of daily shaving, I should be able to maybe get through and finish like 10 to 15 soaps. If I didn't buy anything new, I should be able to. And that's not to say that those are all soaps that are brand new and finish those start to finish. But I do tend to try not to rotate too frequently compared to how a lot of people nowadays, you know, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Just enjoying changing up your software every day or every shave. I usually try to go through like a more similar software setup, maybe like a week or two at a time. So I was using Mirto di Sardegna quite a bit this month. I used a PAA sample for some CK6, which was really nice. So I pretty much used that whole sample until it was done. I think I got maybe like 8 shaves out of that sample. I think I'm kind of on I want to use some Mystic water soon. Just want to play around with some blades next year as well. I'm kind of in no rush to shave with my BBS 1 again. I'd like to do some shaves on camera with you guys, maybe comparing the BBS 1 with the carbon. And that's just because the BBS 1 is what I was using for such a long time. And then I had hoped that when I got one of the carbon razors, was that back in April, that it would more or less be a available current, you know, razor, currently produced razor, you know, that I could enjoy and I don't know, just, you know what? I guess we could do an across the grain pass. It's still a very comfortable shave. So on Christmas, I had my shave and was using the minus plate, and I've seemed to get quite a bit of cuts here on my neck when I'm not really paying attention to the angle at like kind of the last little bit of the stroke on a you know, pass on the neck. And then I've gotten my nose a couple times, and then around here, especially with the plus base plate. So everyone's feelings with the carbon are a little bit different. Some people prefer more efficiency, some people prefer more blade feel, some people prefer more, I think, more clamping on the blade design. I don't really find for me that I'm having any issues with most of the carbons in terms of how rigid it holds the blade. I think for me it holds it very well. As I've said before, I'm just not in love with the original base plate and how it shaves against the grain. So when I got this, when I saw this brush up for listing from a member in Spain, he's someone that has quite a bit of experience with vintage Plissons, and I do myself, but so over these last few years, I just kind of don't really care what something is called, what the branding or the labeling of the grade of Badger is. I've just kind of become less worried about it. So I wasn't expecting this to really be, I don't know. I assumed that I would like this, but then when I got it and I used it for the first time in a shave, like last week, I think I was like, you know what, I kind of scored. I think this is legitimate High Mountain White, maybe from the 70s. Another member that I was kind of messaging about this, not the seller, he had kind of confirmed, at least for me, he said, I'm pretty sure that is High Mountain White. He had even said, I think that's Siberian Badger. So what I was kind of doing was I was looking on Wikipedia, once again on the Badger page, and just kind of looking at different time periods when or where badgers are kind of prevalent. And so one of the neat things in there is, you know, when you look at the different badger species, they'll kind of mention different colors, you know, that or characteristics on the hair, like their pelt. And so even though this is not one of those vintage Plissons that says High Mountain White, or what's it? It's Haut or Hot. I can't remember what's labeled on the brush, but it's the French, you know, French translation of High Mountain White. I've gotten some High Mountain White brushes that just weren't for me. There's some of those European white brushes that I think were still very, very well done knots. But this one, like I said, just kind of a shock. I knew I was going to get, you know, a pretty decent vintage brush, but this one was a very pleasant surprise. I think it's a lot better than I was anticipating. So kind of cool. It's a very nice brush. Feels great. So guys, even though my lather was kind of crappy compared to how it usually is, it goes to show that the show lather, I think for me, slickness is the most important thing that you want to have in a shave soap. You know, the lather needs to help move. That's the thing I was thinking about last night. The level of super fatting that I prefer, I think, leads to maybe having just enough residual slickness so that after that buildup of lather has been removed, does it still have some glide on the skin with just like the residual, I guess, yeah, like the super fatting that it leaves on the skin? Or does it leave a film? I don't think it's as important to have a thirsty soap. I don't think it's important to have a very thick lather. It just so happens for me that most of the soaps that I use tend to be thirsty, and they tend to have a little bit of a thicker lather, but they're definitely not the most super fatted soaps, you know, in general. If I'm using like Mystic Water, that's going to be kind of a very super fatted soap, but you kind of have to build the lather. You have to be very focused to be able to do that. The formula itself doesn't really lend too much to easy lathering. You just have to make sure you load the product, and then you have to make sure you just have to hydrate it very slowly. That's why I like the SV soaps. I mean, today it definitely was not the best lather, but no nicks. Face feels good. I guess so. Years ago when I bought the Cosmo set, I had gifted the aftershave to one of my buddies, so I don't have a full-size one, but this has the, I'm thinking of the, SV came out with Cosmo Serum. That one's got the truffle oil. So this one has the genus Larix extract. So this is a good one. I'm not in love with the scent on this, but I will say that I think I enjoyed it a lot more as I used it. And so I don't think it's bad. It's just a lot of the scent preferences that I have tend to come down more to if I'm in the mood with the weather. Like I really love fougères. Oh man, that smells good. And see, there's a lot of things in different fougères, but I love a green scent. I love like an herbal, you know, whether it's like lavender or rosemary. What else might be in like a common, I don't know, you can maybe have like thyme, just different herbal scents in a fougère. Very, very little burn. Not enough to really have me react. Feels good. But hey guys, it's been a really solid year of shaves. So we'll see what I get thrown on video sometime soon. But if you guys have any questions or suggestions or recommendations, next month I think I'm going to stick with using the minus base plate. I would assume maybe by February I'm going to get another couple base plates and maybe another handle. Sean had mentioned sometime soon he's got that carbon fiber mid piece. And so on the pass round, I got to try the titanium version that has these two end parts in titanium with the middle part in carbon fiber. And I like that handle. I thought it was a little too light. So then he said, I'm going to have the carbon fiber middle piece with stainless steel. And I think for me, I'm going to give that a shot. So I'll probably want to try buying that handle. And see how I like the weight kind of spread out on the stainless steel and the carbon fiber. So, but yeah, I'll do more videos kind of mentioning brushes. I'm just kind of not in the mood to ramble on all day about the brushes and stuff. So, but yeah, I'll use some SV soaps next month. Use some Mystic Water. I'm sure I'll get in sometime soon some other stuff. So like I want to use Haslinger, Sage. I want to use this. I haven't used Mike's in a while, so I want to use the Hungarian lavender for Mike's. So yeah, I'm going to keep rotating different stuff, but it's been nice kind of just sticking with, for the most part, the same hardware. I'm just hoping that I can, like I said, just get through some software that I've had for quite a while this year and kind of go from there. So again, hope you guys are having a good end of the year, getting to have some maybe time off of work or just some time to relax. So enjoy your guys' shaves, and I'll catch you guys soon.